All right, and welcome everybody. Wow, it is the debut episode of the Random Realness with the Double Ds. I bet you all are wondering, who is the other Double D? No, I'm not talking about Double Ds like this. Yes, I got them coming all night, but I'm talking about my boy, my main man, my co-host. You're going to meet him in just a second. But coming up on today's show of Random Realness, we are going to talk about martial arts. And the sports world was shaken and turned upside down over the past couple weeks. We're going to talk about that too. Where's Tom Brady going to go? And LeBron James and the MLB, all that we're talking about. And we can't have a show called Random Realness if we don't talk about the elephant in the room being COVID-19 or the coronavirus. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. And Mitt Romney has a stimulus package that he's proposing, and this is just breaking within the day, and he wants to put money in everybody's Cash App account. Well, baby, mine's is hashtag OP Media. Hashtag, not hashtag or $ OP Media. If I get the name right, I might be able to host a good show. That's why I have a co-host, because you don't know what's going to come out of my mouth or his mouth or what we're going to talk about here on Random Realness. But the last and final thing we got to touch and talk about, you just have to stick around to see, because this is going to be a jam-packed, interesting next 6-10 minutes that you don't want to miss. I'm telling you that. All right, let me bring my main man, DJ, to the show. How are you doing, DJ Carter, my man?
Yes, sir. D to the J with a roll away right here on Random Realness. And Devontae with the big double Ds. Not D's, but those right there. All right.
We got it coming all night long for the next, I don't know, until they kick us off here. No, really, we'll be gone shortly. But man, tell us a little bit about yourself, DJ. It's just a phenomenal time, man.
I'll tell you what, I'm so happy to be here on OPTV, man. This is so great. It is great. It's going to be, I have cerebral palsy. I've been in a wheelchair my entire life, and martial artist. I have a cooking show.
Wait a minute, are you telling me you're sitting down right now? Because I forgot you were standing up.
I was, but I did it so quick, nobody saw it. I have special powers that nobody knows about. It just happens, man. That allergic reaction to gravity works every time.
Right.
So yeah, I've done a little bit of everything. Got into martial arts. I've been doing that for 10 years. And once I got into cooking, I got married, the whole 9 yards. It's just one thing after the other. I dabble in a little bit of everything and have done radio broadcasting and everything like that too. So I got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I try to kind of mix the flavors, if you know what I mean.
Right, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of salt, a little bit of paprika, pepper, garlic. You know what I mean. But first, before we go any further, and before we continue talking about you, the show isn't about you, DJ. It's called the Random Realness because you just don't know what the hell we're going to talk about or what the hell we're going to say.
Oh my gosh.
I just need people to smash that like button and to show us some love and smash the like button, because if you don't smash that like button, they will suppress us. That's why we're broadcasting live on Ordinary People Television, because it's a platform brought by ordinary people for ordinary people. And we're going to talk about a little bit more about that later. But smash that like button and start watch parties on Facebook and share out the link if you're watching us on Twitter or Periscope, rather, Twitch, and all the other social platforms out there joining us. Hey, but DJ, can you help me out with a little bit of something? Let's say hi to everybody out there in the audience commenting in. I see we have one of our boys, one of our biggest fans, Charles Wilton. Hey, how are you doing, Charles?
Big Charles, what's going on, brother? Oh, my goodness, the box is in the house. He got a mean right hook and got to look, because here it comes, and he ain't no crook. Go, baby.
And he stings like a butterfly and slings like a bee, or however Muhammad used to say it. You gotta play with the language. Hey, Dad, we're just trying to kick it and have a little bit of fun with some serious news and bring some lightness to it, because I mean that's all you can do. You can't be serious 24/7, can you? Can you?
I mean, with all this stuff going on, I'm lucky I can stay in my chair, man. I gotta tighten my seatbelt. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yes, I mean, while you got to tighten your seatbelt, I got to make sure I don't tip this chair over.
Oof.
Yes, we got them coming all day long, all night long. All right, so martial arts. Martial arts is our first topic. You're a martial artist yourself, like a 5-time, 9-time black belt. Talk to me a little
Well,
bit more about martial arts. Because
I haven't.
you know what they say about martial arts, or people from where I'm from. You might know martial arts, but I know whoop your ass.
Well, I know karate and I know a little bit of crazy. Hi-ya! I got to go with it, baby. I'm actually a black belt, a first degree black belt. Like I said, I started training 10 years ago. I was real up in weight. I had gotten close to 300 pounds, and I couldn't move my legs very well. It was one of those things where it just what happened with cerebral palsy, a lot of times if you let yourself slide or don't work your legs out, work your muscles out, you get tight. And I had done that, and a lot of people, when I started with Tiger Martial Arts, within the first 3 months I had dropped 42 pounds. So you drop 42 pounds and it's like, wait a minute, what in the world's going on here? This is
Wait a minute,
definitely
you
work.
dropped how much?
Yeah, 42 pounds. I dropped
I don't
42
think I
pounds.
ever weighed 42 pounds in my entire life, soaking wet. I'm just saying.
Well,
I am.
I was on the toilet for a while. What can I say? I just, but no, it became more of a, I started doing it at first to get in shape, just to see, and besides the round shape, I wanted to, slim down a little bit. And when I started getting into it, the more I started doing it, I said, this is something that I enjoy. And Tiger Martial Arts really brought out the best in me. In the first 6 months, we came up to, once I hit 6 months, I had dropped almost 50 pounds, and it just, a lot of good things started happening. But yeah, I mean, I didn't start competing until 2010 because, and this was kind of the big issue here. Every tournament I would go to, they say, well, we can let you compete, but we can't let you spar because you're in a chair and you're a liability to the other person. You could hurt the other person with.
Well, please tell me once you got in that ring and start sparring, you kick some butt, man.
Oh, you see, that's the thing. Grandmaster Jack Dart in 2010, you go to so many tournaments and you hear you can't. And I thought about, getting the attorney and the whole 9 yards and fighting it. But when I came to Jack Dart and Taekwondo Champions, I asked him in 2010, I said, just give me a chance. I want to spar in your tournament. I love the way it runs. I love the way it is. And he said, why not? Go out there and kick some butt and get it done. And in 2010, I competed, and I've been competing ever since. And I was a grand champion in 2017. So, I mean, it's one of those things that God has blessed me with, tremendously. And I can't say enough about it.
And while we're on this serious note, I do want to give thanks to the big man upstairs, God, for blessing you to not allow your disability to basically hold you back or anything. You continue to go, and you're as perfectly normal as me and you. I mean, I haven't hit a break.
I can tell you, it's when you hit a brick, man, they hurt. Let me tell you, I've broken a couple, and it's just one of them things, boy. But man, they do say boys don't hit back. They lie, they hit back. Let me tell you.
That's like they say, mama and grandmas don't hit back when you're man. I'm telling you, it may seem like grandma and mama don't know how to fight, but when you make that belt swing back and hit them when they giving you a paddle for doing the wrong thing, man, they come back at you.
I tell you what, boy, them butter knives start to flying, and you got to move, you got to jiggle, you got to wiggle with the random realness, baby.
Right, and if you didn't know karate and how to move and tai chi and all that before, now you know.
You learn quick, boy.
Yes,
I learned how to duck. I can tell you that. Oh, God, here he comes.
Yes, you do know how to duck. So, your background is all about sports and things. Talk to us a little bit about Tom Brady and everything that's going on right now in the sports world.
Well, I look at this, and the NFL, it's crazy because you look at Tom Brady, the best in the game, and some will sit there and argue, and this is the big argument: is he or is he not? This man has won more Super Bowls than I have feet. No, I don't have 7 feet. I don't have 6 feet. But I'm trying to tell you, it is amazing to me that this man, when he was picked in the 6th round, he told Bill Belichick, he said, "This is going to be the best pick you ever made, and I'm going to show you." And it's not. It doesn't matter who he has around him. And here's the thing: everybody's asking, "Where's Tom Brady going to go? Where's Tom Brady going to go? Is he going to go to Tennessee? Is he going to go to Cleveland? Is he going to go to Washington? Dear God, let him go to Washington, please, please." Okay.
Now listen. I can bet $1 billion, $1 billion that I don't have, that he is not going to Cleveland. He is going to anywhere but Cleveland. But I think we're getting breaking news that the polls just closed here in Ohio. But let's keep talking.
I look at it, and Tennessee right now, and well, actually, from what I heard and what I read, I heard that the Cowboys are either going to franchise Dak Prescott or they're going to not pay him, because I have heard that he wants in the upward range of $40 million as a quarterback. If you gave me $40 million, I would play naked out there. Not that I'm going to do that. I don't want to scare nobody, but I'm going to tell you, $40 million over a 5-year deal for $40 million. Is Prescott worth that? A lot say no. Some say yes. I think no quarterback is worth that. And the thing you got to realize is, if they don't sign Dak, Tom Brady is going to slide right in there, because you've got Amari Cooper, you've got the tight end. All this stuff that's going on. You've got Gallup and the line, the offensive line that Dallas has. If they sign Brady, the NFC East is in trouble, and it's going to get nasty.
Big time. It is going to get shut down. But believe it or not, I think Tom Brady, given the current situations and lightments of things, he could actually be going for his retirement right now.
I've heard a lot about that, but here's the thing. Tom Brady wants to prove that he can win without Bill Belichick. Tom Brady wants to prove that he can go to another team and actually have that monkey off his back, so to speak, to whereas Bill Belichick wants to say, "Listen, I can win without Tom Brady," because you got to remember, they have been together since, the beginning. And everybody's asking, can Belichick do it without Tom Brady, and can Tom Brady do it?
But you know what? I think Belichick is actually going to be in the next season or two on his way out the door. But check out Belichick. Without Belichick and Brady, there is no New England Patriots or this dynasty, because Belichick, what a lot of people don't realize, for one day, 24 hours, he was the head coach of the New York Jets, and then he got that phone call, and then here comes Tom Brady, and the rest is history as we know it.
The only problem there, with Belichick, and see, this is why I say Belichick's system works. It doesn't matter who he has back there, because you got to remember, they went all the way to the championship with Matt Castle. Okay, you got Chris Hogan. Nobody knew who Chris Hogan was. You had Gronkowski in and out. So it doesn't matter who's in there. My 88-year-old grandmother could have been in there catching passes across the middle.
Right.
That's just, grandma, she goes up for it. It's over. You just see the whole thing just fly. I know I wouldn't be flying. I would be falling, but I would.
Right. You and me both.
Right. This is a helmet. Am I supposed to wear? Uh-oh, here they come.
All right, let's move things from Tom Brady and talk about LeBron. Did LeBron make the right move before they suspended the NBA season to come out and say what he said?
You know what? I don't know. That's a tough call. I can't say whether he did or he didn't. What do you think? That one's a toughie.
Well, it is a toughie. I think LeBron, he made the right call. He is the leader. And as we saw, as says LeBron, or as they call him King James, as says King James, the NBA and the MLB and everybody else, the NCAA, everybody follows. When you are a leader, you have to make the tough calls. Is it the right call? Is it the wrong call? We will never know. But I personally think he made the right call, because not even a full 48 hours later, you see, there was an announcement made about an NBA player getting sick. getting diagnosed with the coronavirus. So whether we want to call a deuce ace or a joker a spade, it is
wild is wild is wild. You got to call it what it is.
Yeah, you got to call it what it is. You made the right call. Fundamentally, I believe. Let us know if you think you made the right call in the chat. Go ahead. You're going to say something, DJ?
I mean, I think this whole thing, and LeBron has had common sense since day one. I mean, you look at the championships he's won, and it's not about LeBron. For him, it's always been about the team. And you look at the safety of it, and you look at the decision that he made. The move that he made and the way that he did it was professional, but also it was protection in itself. You know what I mean? I mean, it's one of those things where you've got to see it to believe it. He does it. It works, and it just is.
And this is why he's called one of the GOATs, the greats. So to go along with LeBron James, we are in a little bit of uncharted territories because the MLB they postponed their season, right? The start of their season.
I think it's until May 31st, I believe, as of right now, is what we're looking at. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everything is changing, not by the day, not by the minute, but by the moment. Everything is changing.
Yeah.
So shocking and things like that, which I call I call this, and I'll talk a little bit about this in a second, the Monday surprise before the Monday surprise, the wild card.
Exactly.
Wild card, but the wild card in general. Could this have been prevented? Well, we're going to talk about what a coronavirus is in just a second. But back to this sports thing and the cancellation. This is something America has never seen. And I knew this was going to get bad when all of the different sports franchises, baseball to soccer to hockey, and everybody either suspended or postponed or delayed their season.
100% agree.
For a whirlwind of uncharted territory that America and the world has never seen.
When you cancel the Big Ten, the Big 12, I mean, you've got your biggest week in basketball coming up. And it talked about the commissioner, how sad he was to actually make this call. That dude probably has not slept for 3 weeks. I mean, the pressure that is on him, as the president of everything that's going on with the NBA. And then you've got other sports following suit. We're talking about WrestleMania, one of the biggest WWE events of the year. We're going to know by this Thursday whether or not WrestleMania is going to cancel. I mean, and the WWE does not want to cancel their biggest event of the year, but Tampa actually made.
But look at this: when events like South by Southwest and other big events that target a lot of big money individuals and that brings it. Let's take this for example. Let's move away from the tech world and move back to the sports world. The Arnold Schwarzenegger Festival. It kind of got a little hairy and dicey. It didn't happen the way it was intended to, and that impact didn't just hurt the sports community and the bodybuilding community, but it impacted the small business owners who depend on these events year in and year out to boost their economy and their business. That's what they built their business around, especially restaurants and bars and things like that, wouldn't you say?
Well, I mean, the bad part about it is you've heard that expression, money makes the world go round. But without the people and without the talent and without the technology, you can't make the money. And that's kind of where we are. So you have to do the right thing, because this thing, as you said, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And if we don't shut it down and the government doesn't shut it down and say, look, we've got to stop this before it gets too big, and I think they're making the right move. Honestly, I think they have to, because you've got to be smart about this.
But let's keep in mind that America hasn't seen a coronavirus pandemic like this since 1918, and that was the Spanish flu. Nearly 1 million Americans, 675,000 Americans.
That's a lot of people.
And so really America has never done any type of tests or anything like this for these viruses until now. And while we're on this topic, let's talk about traveling and travel right now.
Ooh,
Country.
man, I tell you one thing, my chair is not going on a plane. No. A matter of fact, I'm not even going near a plane. If you think this brother gonna look at a plane, Delta got another thing coming, Jack. I ain't. No, sir. Don't fall out, Devontae. Hold on, baby. Hold on.
I'm trying not to fall out my chair, but they just keep rolling. But I was about to ask the question to you or pose to you that do you think they are going to ban travel within the United States to certain states and cities and things?
Eventually, I think it's going to come down to that. As much as I want to say no, I mean, it just you've got to look at what's happened. Look at Italy. I mean, this is just. I actually got a message on my phone the other day that it within 2 weeks, a friend of mine messaged me that she thinks it's going to come down. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Look, I'm going to be funny for a minute, so y'all get ready. Toilet paper is not the answer to this thing. I have seen America.
Come on, you need to repeat that again, man.
Toilet paper is not the answer to this thing. Y'all got to understand, this ain't about
just toilet paper, but emptying out sort of water, hand sanitizer, liquor, wine.
Now look, liquor. Now you got to understand something. If I'm sitting in my chair and I sound like this, I don't know what's going on at all. It's nothing. I'm perfectly fine. No, okay. Look, you cannot get the coronavirus from drinking Corona. Let's make that very clear and understand.
Let them know that.
And the best thing to get with it is Lyme disease, if you know where I'm coming from with that one. No, now I'm just rolling with y'all just a little bit because that's what I do. All right, but here's the thing. I really want to explain this because it's something that people need to know. And buying 28,000 rolls of toilet paper is not going to solve this issue. We got to remember that there are thousands of people in this world that need things. If you are responsible and you do the right thing, get two, and put the others away because you got other people coming in here.
Not just get two, but make sure you only take 2 squares to wipe your own ass, not half the damn row.
Thank you. I mean, do we really have to get the mop, and just get up in there with the...
You can't have that much going on down there. But then again, some people might. Let's not go there. I mean, most Americans don't have that much going on now.
I do like big butts, and I cannot lie. Okay, we gonna go there, but I just want to say that Sir Mix-a-Lot even said, "Come on, cut it down, people. Y'all know we got to wipe. Goodness gracious!"
Right? Exactly. But another thing that's really been getting to me about this coronavirus is the media. They talk about we want to give you fact and not fiction. Well, if you want to give us fact but not fiction and not induce panic, why the hell do you keep doing wall-to-wall coverage 24/7?
That is a great question. Here's the problem with the media. Whenever something big hits the country, it always becomes this major blow up and this major, oh my God, the world's in complete peril. And I understand giving facts is proper. That's exactly what we need to do. I believe that we should give the facts, but this thing is almost 24 hours a day now. And if you do that, and Big D, I'm gonna tell you, if you do that, you got to come to the point where you got to back off a little bit because it's going to scare people into a panic, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yes, it is. And now I can say, well, we have to finish this conversation on the other side. The producers are telling me I got to pause and pay a few bills because this is how Random Realness rolls. We'll be back right after this. And yes, Ordinary People TV is who Random Realness with the Double D's, me and DJ Carter, is being brought to you by them and their parent company, Ordinary People Media, who is all about getting your story out there. Now we can go back to our conversation. Had to pay a few bills. The producers were saying, "You got to cut to the commercial." I'm like, "We're having a good time right here." Doesn't
I
it
have
make
never
you
seen your checks fly that fast in my life, and you had the pen just right now. The check just going.
right? So yeah, now let's go back to this whole conversation. Now that we've done paid some bills, what were you going to say?
Well, I mean, I took a walk and played hopscotch while that ad was playing. Do y'all know how great that was? Until I realized I had CP, and then I found out gravity works. That's what. So I'm back in my chair again. But no, I honestly think, the media is good and bad because it is such a hyped up thing that there is, we talked a little bit about this earlier. There is common sense involved in this, but as Dee said earlier,
But wait a minute. But wait a minute. Everything common ain't. Everything common sense ain't common, as my grandma
see,
used to tell me. You know,
I was going to go there, but you ran over my foot.
my mom says, let her push it a little bit further. And she
Mhm.
says, well, if everything common ain't common sense, you know what happens when you assume you make an ass out of yourself and me. And you know what? I'd like to keep my ass on my ass where it belongs.
Women, I'm lucky I'm sitting on mine. That's all I got to go with that now. Oh, I can't. No, we ain't going. And I got nice warm heated seats and everything on this chair, so we
Man,
just ain't.
compared to me, man, you're sitting in luxury.
No, I'll hook you up. Don't worry. We'll send it over right now. Standard shipping rates may apply. Batteries not included, and some assembly may be required. Man, this is so fun. I tell you.
We're having a ball right here on Random Road.
Oh man,
what it's all about.
But you were talking about the facts earlier. How do you differentiate that? That's a hard word. Differentiate between the facts and then the hysteria of, like the media itself. How do you back off from that as a person that is scared already? I don't understand, how this world can just, push everything so hard, and then it just seems to be that, because we're getting all these things from the media, that it's scaring the people to death.
Right, right, definitely. And the question was, produce, come on, get me back up on the screen. What the heck are you two? Oh, y'all doing back there in the control room? It's called Random Realness, but don't make it random where they can't see who's talking.
That is kind of random, man. I don't know what's going on, y'all.
Right, Dag, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, about fact versus fiction. One of the things that has really intrigued me with this coronavirus COVID-19 thing is people not really understanding what COVID-19 is.
All right, shed a little light on that.
Yeah, do you know what COVID-19 is at its core, or do you understand it?
Now, from what I mean, and I could be wrong on something because I'm not actually medically correct here, as it were, in my best English, because a cookie is just a cookie, but Newtons are fruit and cake. But I would say that it bases off of the common cold. Is that not? I mean, as far as the virus itself, and then it mutated. Is that not?
Yeah, a little bit in some ways. So let me. I had the opportunity to, speak with the powers that be, people way smarter than me that understands this. And the Guardian self-editor, Sarah Bosley, what she has basically said is that this coronavirus comes from the coronaviruses, which is a family of symptoms of illnesses of the common cold.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, in a nutshell, not to get too deep, if you want to get deep in the conversation, we will have a documentary, a 30-minute short documentary show airing on this coming Thursday entitled The Real Impact, how America is dealing with the impact of the coronavirus. So, I've had the opportunity to not only speak with a couple people, but really to delve in deep with the research and things like that. But this is not
Mhm.
the right arena or the right time to hit you with all those facts and things, because we want to lighten up the mood and keep you happy. Sure, we want to give you some facts and fiction, but we want to make sure it's light and airy to keep you around when you drive home.
If you're happy and you know it, sit in your chair. I'm already there. Oh, okay. So that's I'm sorry. I just had to kind of run with that or not. I was a stand-up comedian, and you can see how far that went. Not very, but there. Okay, so we'll just go with that. I have an allergic reaction to gravity. It's fine. I do want to ask you: did they determine whether or not? I believe that on a surface, the virus can last up to 7 days. Is that not what
Uh,
you've heard as well?
Truth is, we're still in unknown and uncharted territory. We really are. And when you're live, anything and anybody will walk up. Uh, and that's just how it goes. People are literally walking up to me right now and handing me things because news is developing, and I don't
Yeah,
mean to make the pivot right now, but we have to make the pivot. Two things have just developed quickly within the moments of us coming on air here and things like
sure,
that.
sure.
The
Hmm.
first thing that's developed that I want to pivot to is breaking news, actually. And the Ohio governor, Mike DeWine, he just announced that he's recommending that the state of Ohio's primary be suspended and rescheduled to take place in June, all to prevent
Wow.
uh, people from contracting this coronavirus. Now, whether he's making the right move or not, I certainly do agree, because I was in a grocery store on Saturday, actually, and even just yesterday, I was in a grocery store, and people just cough at random but don't cover their mouth. And this is one of the leading ways in which you can contract the coronavirus. And I don't know if any of you have realized that one day they'll come out and say for each state that 25 people have it, and then the next day the numbers jump by 3,000. So just by these common sense measures.
And again, you mentioned that, and there's a couple of ways people tell you when you sneeze or you cough, bring your arm up and cough into your arm, and that does not spread the
Right.
the 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 germs. As you know, it's a better barrier itself. So you've got to look at, again, common sense to that's why they're trying to practice social distancing, because this is a contact virus.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's very much a contact virus, and then it doesn't help with people. And I commend him with it. Commend Mike DeWine for doing this
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
it doesn't help when people really get in those close quarters, elbow to elbow, or not within that 6 feet distant recommended distance and things like that, because a cough happens or something as common as you touching the face, because we're so high touch in America, and
Exactly.
really don't
Exactly.
like that and things like that. But also, while Mike DeWine was making that public announcement recommending that, and he also said, and I quote this at his news conference, we can't tell people it's in their best interest to stay home and at the same time tell people to go out and vote. I agree with you.
Sure, sure, 100% right.
I agree, because then it gets into that whole double standards thing. But
Mhm.
he went further on to say we should not force people to choose between their health and their constitutional duties as citizens. If you ask me now, I'm not trying to get into a political conversation. I'm just trying to offer you some facts as we know them right now. But if I'm going to move a little bit political, Mike DeWine is acting more presidential and more as a leader. Some him and a lot of other governors throughout the country than the man at the top. And this doesn't fall on any side of the one owl, but it is what
Sure.
it is right now. Because don't you think the man at the top should have suspended, as more news is coming in by the minute? The man at the top should have suspended the stock exchange last week, and now,
Last week.
yeah, we don't know if we're headed in to a deep recession, deeper than 2008, or if we're headed into a depression. And God forbid, we America cannot handle a Great
Mm.
Depression, because the last one was seen back in the FDR days.
Well, see, the problem is, and this is not, nothing against the people of our country. But America can't handle when it snows in the state of Virginia. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you got to go look, if it snows 2 inches, here's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. It's now snowed 2 inches in the state of Virginia. Please shut the state down. Go to the store, hoard bread, steal gas, take toilet paper, run over people, see what happens.
Yeah,
The
that
world
doesn't
is at
happen
its
in
end.
Ohio, man, because we here in Ohio, we know the weather changes every 5 minutes. It was 60 degrees on Saturday. I'm sorry, on Friday. And Sunday, it was like 30 and an inch of snow on the ground. And now today, Monday, the snow is gone and it's like 45 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, the only thing that we have to avoid, I think, is you don't want to get into a state of hysteria where you can't live your own life. There's nothing wrong with staying home and limiting contact, but you cannot be scared to go out your front door. And I think that's what this is coming to. Do you not agree? I mean,
No,
I want.
I'm right there 100% with you. This is what it's coming to now. And I will say in this initial impact in the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe limit as much contact as you can out because how rapidly it's spreading and some things weren't put in place a few weeks ago that could have prevented all this mass hysteria.
Sure,
So
sure.
I can't really blame the media or any one person without blaming the top because I mean that's how I was taught leadership is supposed to work. But if I could continue to press this, what's also interesting about Mike DeWine suspending this is he had a Secretary of State who made a statement at that same press conference, news conference. Yeah, I can't get the words out right now.
It's okay. It's okay. Words are hard. Go with it, brother. We got you. We got you.
Right. Right, and his Secretary of State, who's oversees all of the elections in the state, Frank LaRose, he said, and I quote, "The power to suspend an election, the power to delay an election, is not one we have. It ultimately rests with the courts and the legislature. So your state senators and your state House of Representatives and things like that. But they certainly can make a recommendation, and I think that's ultimately a good recommendation. But while he was doing that, Chicago had to get in on this so little about it. So Lori Lightfoot, the mayor, I love Lori. I do, but Lori came out and said, "Hey, look, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, and I want everybody to know our voting systems up here in Chicago is safe, and I want to encourage everybody to go out and vote today. If you want to vote early and go out and vote tomorrow, this is your God-given right. Do it and be safe and vote blue. Go Democrats."
Well, I just want to see these two in a ring somewhere, corner to corner, and she comes out. Let's get ready to stumble. And you're wondering what's going to happen. I can imagine the broadcasters in the back going, "This is the greatest thing since sliced bread," and everyone just cricket.
Mike DeWine and Lori Lightfoot would be a better fight, a better debate than what happened on Sunday. Oh my God, what the hell happened with Bernie and Biden? That was the most boring thing I've ever watched. I had to cut the TV off.
I know I fell asleep in my cream cheese dip. That's all I know. I woke up and I missed the whole weekend. It was just I was walking and didn't even realize it.
Yeah, it was a whole complete waste of time. But I can't. But I'm sure all of you want to know right now what if ooh, I can't even believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say.
Hang on.
It's that mind blowing, so you better take hold of your chairs, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Talking about COVID-19 and the coronavirus and the news surrounding it, but this is late breaking as of about 25 minutes ago. The Utah senator and former Republican nominee, Mitt Romney, he's trying to put a little bit of money on your Cash App. And no, it's not his billions of dollars he's trying to put on there, but he's come up with a stimulus package, so to say. And he wants, and in this economic relief package, he is calling for it to include $1,000 cash payment to all adult Americans to help aid those who are really struggling during this whole coronavirus pandemic. But I want to stop right there, and I want to say I commend him because I mean he's a stone cold Republican. But some people will come out and say he's looking a little bit about like Bernie, a socialist or whatever, and I want to stop them with saying that because he wants to help people. But as I want to stop right there before I get your reaction and everybody hears your reaction to him wanting to put some money on a Cash App card. I think it's very important that we all have the conversation. Something that's not being brought up is that all the well-off-to-do Americans and even the Americans not well-off-to-do but have a roof over their head and a
Hmm.
job at least to go to, we have somewhere to quarantine to and to hunker down. But what about the homeless people out there who have
That's
no?
a
And
great point.
that's the thing that's not being brought up. Now
Well,
we're going to go back to that, but I want to have this conversation about the homeless people and what's being done.
and it's kind of, to me, it's kind of an afterthought, and it shouldn't be, because those homeless people, before they were homeless, they had all of the things that they needed, and because they've lost them, or circumstances in their lives have put them to a point that where this happened to make them homeless, they should not be an afterthought. They should not be overlooked. They should have a place to go, and they should have had it first. That's the hard part about it.
You are totally right about that. They should have had it first, and then in a whole general sense, even without this pandemic and things like this, we don't do enough to look after our
True.
homeless people.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even here, if I could push it, if I could push it a little bit, if we aren't going to look after the whole population, the homeless population as a whole, we don't do enough to look after our homeless veterans.
That's true.
Went off to war and fought for us did something that either some of us A can't do or B that are too cowardly to do. And yes, I
Exactly.
said coward.
Yeah, and the bad part about it, and what Devonte just covered, there's something that I'm going to say, and this is very powerful because it's real. Whether you're homeless, whether you're disabled, whether you're a veteran, and a lot of a homeless veteran, and you've gone through all these things, we are looked at as second class citizens, and that has to stop, because the only way that we're going to get through this is to realize that we are ordinary people just like everybody else, and the veterans that have served our country and done more for us than we could ever realize. There has to be a point where we say we have to do something for these people.
You're totally right, man. You're totally right. There's
And
no.
I really, it bothers me because it's hurtful. Because when they worked as hard as they could, this is homelessness is a problem. It's a problem in America. It's a problem everywhere. But if you don't see what's happening, it's getting shaded
Hey,
and
but
pushed.
here, I want to interject right here. I
I'm
agree
sorry.
with everything that you're saying, but I want everybody to know this. Not as it just getting shaded and jaded, but everybody out there needs to know and fundamentally understand this. Give me a one shot right here on top of me, really quickly. People in America that are homeless, they don't want to be homeless. Some of them are homeless because their family has chosen to abandon them. Some of them are homeless because they have nothing else left to do. Some of
Right.
them are homeless because of a mental disorder and or a health thing or whatever. People who are homeless, what I understand about them fundamentally, they don't want to be homeless. They want to be doing as good off as me and you are doing, even if we can't. Even if we aren't doing living our best life, we're living
Exactly.
a life worth living, a life
Hmm.
out on the street. At least we have a roof over our head, and we're not digging through the trash can or looking for where we're going to get the next meal or where we're going to beg for the next meal from or the next dollar from. I'm just saying.
It's a basic necessity. It's a basic necessity. Having a roof over your head, there should be no homelessness. And and I say that because, you know, not even to make this, a giant topic, but it needs to be 60,000 home, at 60,000 homeless, as they just said in the comments. 60,000 people? Come on now, don't make me get up out this chair.
Yeah, and that's in LA. And how are you going to get up out the chair? I'm just saying.
I will for a minute, but then somebody gonna help me up off the floor, if you would please. I just.
So looks like your wife is on standby, so she can help you up, and then we.
All right. Stand by me, because I won't. I'm just letting you know.
Right.
Oh.
Definitely. Let's go back to the Mitt Romney conversation and him wanting to put money in the Cash App. What are your thoughts about the economic stimulus package that?
I think it's a great thing, and I just stay split screen right here. But honestly, I think it's a great thing because it's the right thing to do, because people need it. I mean, you're talking about people being out of work. They're, because of all this that's going on. But I'm going to tell you something funny right now. If I got $1,000 in my account, brother is going to get CO2 cartridges on his back of his chair, and I'm going to go a lot faster than I do right now. Just to let you know, I'm going to have me some mirrors, some dice hanging off the back. I'm going to have a couple cup holders. I got to get things right,
Right.
But no, I do think it's a good thing. I think that it needs to be done. I think Romney is taking the right track, and I think it's going to help people and get us going in the right direction. But we've got to come together as a people and know that we've got to do the right thing and nip this thing in the bud before it goes totally crazy.
Yeah. I mean, totally, because this can get out of hand a lot quicker than people want to deal with it. And once it goes, because we're already let's call an ace an ace and a deuce a deuce and a joker a joker. We are already in a recession.
Yeah.
Calling it like it is. Now, do we want this recession to turn into a depression is another thing.
You mentioned that, and there, not to mention, the home. You're talking about the homeless. Look at the disabled community. The disabled community wants to work. The disabled community wants to be part of it. The disabled community can work. They're dedicated. They believe in it, and they work hard. I'm one of them.
That's another thing. Not to get off topic from here at this whole coronavirus COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just get off topic. Some people, my only one true thing with this, because he wants to give it to, let me be clear on who he wants to give it to before I make this point. He wants to give, just so everybody knows and understands, he wants to give $1,000 cash payment to all adult Americans. This is where my more conservative values, because I'm an independent, comes into play. There are some adults out there just sitting at home on their ass collecting
Preach it right there.
Collected. Let's just
call it what it is.
And there's some people out there who want to work, who can't work for health reasons or other reasons, or because
there you go.
Employ them because they don't look like the right person or whatever. Ooh. And then there's some people out there who have a job but aren't treating it as a job and showing up late and doing all of these other things that shouldn't be being done. Or worse yet, they show up and then they steal from the employer, and then they wonder why it's so hard for people to get a job and for the people who want to get a job. And I can go on and on and on, but there's no need, because we all know it. But it's fine time somebody says it and calls it out for what it is. Mitt Romney, I do agree with your proposal, and I do like your proposal of an economic stimulus, but we have to do something to give the money to those who deserve it, and not all adult Americans, because all adult Americans don't earn jock diddly squat, because they're already getting more than what they deserve. I'm just calling it for what it is, because I mean, some of the same people feel the same way when you start talking about reparations, when that whole 40 acre and a mill, but I'm not even going to go there. But it's the same concept. It is the same concept. So let's call it what it is and quit beating around the bush.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There are people out there that are thinking a job involves, we're off for the weekend and free food for my friends. No, this $1,000 is to help people in need. And you got to remember that just because you have a job, and here's what Big D was saying, and I like Big D over there. I call him Big D because it just works. Big D, I agree. I think in our lives, in our America right now, there has to be a point. If you don't want to work, look, tell the boss you don't want to work. Don't steal from him. Don't get there just to get there and complain about it. There are thousands of people that need that job and want that job. And if you don't want to be there, somebody else does. And that's the way I feel about it.
I mean, you're exactly right, man.
Because brother needs a second chair on Wednesday. Can I get a job at McDonald's, please? Can a brother make a Whopper? I'm sorry, that's Burger King. I'm sorry. Can I just go with it one time? I mean, goodness gracious, y'all don't know how I roll. I'm trying to tell you, my tire turns, and I got good years, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Right. But here, while calling in what it is, I do have to say I have to commend some of these big corporations as much as we like to rail about them and things like this for what they are doing. T-Mobile, and Metro by T-Mobile, they just came out and made a big announcement that they're going to give you your next 2 months on your bill free, but you have to call them and say like questions about my bill and things like that, and then they'll initiate it. And then same thing with Sprint and all the other providers out there. And then Spectrum and places like that. If you don't have internet, they are going to give you internet and waive the installation and all of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Things like that, but not just that. So some of these corporations are really stepping up to the plate in a way because there's so much divisiveness going on right now in Washington, D.C., and in our nation's capital that these corporations are saying, hey, you know what? We don't need you to tell us what to do or how to do it. We're just going to step up because we aren't going to wait for it to get any worse than what it is, because I wouldn't be surprised if they say the next thing, because here in Ohio, restaurants and bars are already shut down except for carryout. The next thing to close down is the grocery stores.
Yeah, and that's a scary thought. Now I do want to ask you something on something you just said. You know, and all these corporations that are starting to come together, T-Mobile, you talked about it, you know, all of this, is some of this bringing the world together because are they realizing, hey, we've got to step up, we've got to come together as America and try to fix and do the best we can?
I don't know. When it comes to this whole COVID-19, a song comes to mind that I wish my team and we could play, but we'll get hit with some lawsuits and some copyright violations, and I'm not trying to put us in that place. But a song from the 70s from my good friend, the infamous Marvin Gaye, and he says, what's going on, brother, brother, sister, sister? I have lots of love to give, but what's going on? What's going on in this world? So I don't know. I'm a remain optimistic and positive that in light and in lieu of all of this, that they're coming together because they know it's fine time that they do. I'm hopeful for that, and I'm praying that that is the case that may be. But at the same time, I am a realist too, and since I am a realist, I understand that it gets to their bottom line. If they give you away 2 free months of phone service and internet, you're going to stick around because they've just brought you some. They just brought
Exactly.
more brand loyalty, and I know that from running a corporation myself here at OP Media, and how I was just telling my team the reason why we aren't going to market and talk about COVID-19 and things like this because we aren't trying to do this, but at the same time we run a corporation, we run a business, so we have to market our services in a way to where it's beneficial to the people who need them, even if we're monetizing off of off the coronavirus. And that's a sad thing to do, but hey, at least we aren't doing it on a mass level like
Yeah.
So I hope that answers the question that you and probably a lot of other people had.
You know, and I gotta throw this out there. You know, with OPTV, I want to talk a little bit about that because you've done so much, you know, with it, and I know we're getting ready to close here in a few minutes, but it means so much for me to be part of the team and to be on this show, you know, with you guys. Could you talk just a little bit about the vision and what you're seeing for OPTV and the things that are happening and the media and all of that? I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that question. Give me a close up on me. Um, the vision for OPTV. OPTV is really the platform where we allow other people's stories to be shared, no matter what they are. So for DJ, and I'm having a phenomenal time working with him right now. And this is actually the first live stream that I've done, first show live stream that I've done since September 28th. I'm sorry, September 24th, 2019. And I am
Woo!
having a blast and happy. Put both of us back up on the screen. I'm happy both of us were able to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
Do this as a part of the Ordinary People News Division as a commentary show, but also just a part of the OPTV and OPM family. Now, keep in
Mhm.
mind with the vision of Ordinary People TV, Ordinary People TV is a subsidiary of Ordinary People Media.
Media. Hmm.
Ordinary People Media is the parent company, and as the parent company, yes, we have OPTV, and we have this incredible platform that's growing like wildfire over the past week and a half. We went from literally, without putting any money in marketing or anything, from a few thousand people to talking about us. And following us and subscribing to us to tens of thousands, and I'm foreverly grateful. But I know it's because of the dynamic programming lineup. I know this is totally off cue, but could we throw up some graphics? I want to talk a little bit about a couple of the shows and then come back and talk and finish up the vision conversation. Let's talk about Real Talk with Coach Dave Brown that comes on here tonight on at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. On Mondays and Wednesdays, he gives you real talk about things ranging from the gamut of technology to um, counseling and things like that. It's a real gamut, and he gives you that real type of talk that where it hits you right in the gut, but you knew you need to hear that, but now he's giving you the ability to hear it again, and then the ability to implement on it. Because there's so many people out there facing addictions and things like that. And so he gives you that real conversation, that real talk for how to get over it. Let's talk about battle ready marriage if we can right now. And it
Powerful,
Thursday
powerful.
at 7:30. This phenomenal couple, Coach Chris and Coach Sarita, and what they do, they're phenomenal. Giving you, even if you aren't married, they teach you the principles for how to have a fundamental. A great relationship with your spouse and how to make it go way beyond what people see because what happens in the dark shouldn't stay in the dark, and they go through all of these principles. They are very powerful. Or this other couple out of Philadelphia that has a show on Thursday, a food show where they take you where it's called In the Kitchen with Chef Larry and Lorraine, and they talk and they teach you how to shop and then how to go from the store to the actual table and what to
Hmm.
buy and how to do it healthfully, healthy. Oh man, I've been talking for quite a while. Or another show that comes on Wednesdays here, powerful businesswoman with Marcella, where she interviews and speaks with a wide variety of business women out there, just quite frankly doing the damn thing, and I appreciate her. Or Leslie with Leslie's Angel Spirit out of the UK. Did I forget to tell y'all we are an international platform with subscribers and viewers from all around the globe and shows from all around the globe? Well, if that wasn't prevalent, drop if you can room drop the logo off the screen so you could get a full picture of her Leslie. She is really a precious heart, an angel at heart. And if you haven't had the opportunity to go and watch her show, Leslie's Angel Spirit, which just debuted last week, you should go do it. She talked about her journey and her journey with from the beginning and how she had to go through rape and different things. Like, it's a really thought-provoking and
Wow,
really
wow.
heart-moving story about her journey. And I'm not going to try and tell it because I'll miss something. and it's not my place, but she's telling her story, and she is a prolific. Come back out on the two of us right now. She really is a prolific storyteller, DJ. And one last show, because there's so many to talk about, and I'll probably get talked about for only talking about some, but I'm getting told we have to wrap here, but hey, I'm in charge of other networks, so I'm gonna just keep on talking. That's one of the things you can do when you own your own platform. Man.
When you got the power, boy, you better use it. Go with it, Big D. Come on now.
Right. So we're just going to keep on talking, all right, and keep on rolling with this because the people fundamentally.
I see what you did there. All right, I like that.
So, the Team Inspiration Show. Oh my God, it is the most inspirational 30 minutes of anything you're going to see on TV and social media right here on Fridays at 1 p.m. And there's so many other shows I could talk about. How me and DJ are going to be back here every Monday at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Right? 4 p.m. Eastern Standard.
I tell you what, man, it went good this time. I'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, if we don't get canceled, God forbid. But I don't think we're gonna get canceled. No, because our numbers are way up there. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get canceled. But anywho, Random Realness with Double D, and then here let me just say this because I have family here in the studio. One family member. Let me show you my younger sister. It's people like her story. She is a twin, and I because of the coronavirus and schools being closed. Here, come over here. I want to show you her twin. This is another thing you can do when you own the platform. Her twin, David. Yeah. And so my family and sharing my family story and everybody else's family story is a big fundamental part of what we do here. So any thoughts or closing comments before I close out the show today? Because it's been a blast with you.
You know, I got to tell you, you look at what you just did and what you just showed. Bring us both back up. Don't just go to me right here because I want to show Devontae too.
All right, yeah, you hearing?
You know, I love it. They just follow with it. It's so great, man. Right? The people that are working with Ordinary People Media, with Ordinary People Television. This right here is a team, and it's a team effort. Okay, this is our first show, but I'm gonna be honest. When I've been in broadcasting a lot, I've been in martial arts a lot. I do a lot of things for a lot of people. But when you're able to reach the world and it's a uniform type deal to where everybody can come together and the news that we break is to help people, okay? This has a sense of normalcy, and I don't use that word a lot because everybody everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people will classify me as not normal, okay? This show and this platform right here, OPTV and ordinary People Media are able to help me to feel normal and give it a sense of normalcy to go anywhere you want to go, do anything you want to do, and be able to broadcast to people, for people, and make it normal. You know, anybody that comes into this and says, look, when I work with Devontae, we are a team member. I'm diving in head first, and if I fall, I've got a team to help me back up. And you know, and if they can't get me up, then we'll get a crane and we'll work it that way. But I'm just saying.
You know what I always say along those lines of falling. Because I come from a broadcast background too, spent time as a newspaper reporter, hitting the beat, and spend time in behind the booth in the radio. That's why I don't have that voice like he does because I've been out the industry for a while. But it comes back, and as I used to say at the end of one of my radio shows, if you fall down, you can look up, because if you can look up, you can get up.
You know, and my catchphrase is this. You know, everybody says I've got that magical milky voice, you know, for the radio and all that. Let me give you just a little bit. It's D to the C to the Dr. J right now. And I always say, if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. And that's it right there. So that's, I mean, just you got to do what you can. And I'm so great to be able to be a part of this team. And I think we're going to go far.
Yeah, yes, we are. And to go along with the vision, beginning, I never saw this taking off as quickly as I did, but I am truly thankful because it's because of not just people like you, DJ, but people out there watching right now. And I don't know how many people are watching now or who are watching the replay, but we're using social media right now as a marketing tool. But February, Jesus, February has gone and come, and that's unbelievable because we just launched on the big level, came out of beta, and like took this baby off and launched it like
Put the boosters on it, baby. There we
yes,
go.
we did put the boosters on it. With a 7-hour live stream show on Saturday,
Whoa.
February 29th. Yeah, if you thought this was fun, try it been on for 7 hours.
7 hours?
7 hours, dog. Yes.
I would need hydrating IVs for 7 hours, man. My chair battery would die. Come on. I need to
Yeah.
call AAA.
Yes, for 7 hours, and it was because of a great fundamental team. But what I'm saying right here, everybody, is this: the as my pastor before he retired used to tell me, and he still tells me this when we see each other. Your best is yet to come because you ain't seen nothing yet. I used to always
Wow.
often wonder what
Wow.
did he mean by that, and why I knew what he meant, but why does he continue to tell me this and impart this? Because when somebody tells you once or twice, it's all right. You need to know this, but when they tell you that in repetition, you better take it home and you better
Yeah.
own it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You better own it, and that's what I've started to do because sometime in April, within the first 7 to 10 days, just be waiting for the biggest announcement yet that we thought we would be making in June. And here, I'm just going to tell you what it is right now, since you all are listening in and probably wondering what is it. We are going to be doing a couple different things. We're going to be streaming 24/7, 24/7. And not only are we going to be streaming 24/7 with shows around the clock, but wait, there's one more thing. As Steve Jobs what used to say, the one more thing, and then still, yeah, there's a couple more things, but the one more thing during that first 10 days that we are going to unveil is we are going to be in the Roku Apple Store. We're going to be in the
Oh.
we're going to be in the Apple TV App Store, and we're going to be in the iOS App Store and the Android App Store. And that's just the precipice of the things in our online platform. The website that's up right now, you can go to ordinarypeople.tv and still get access to some of the things, but that website has crashed. It crashed a couple times already because you guys have been inundating it, and that showed us that we needed to expand and really put our technology department to work. So our CTO and the other departments, really the marketing promoting department, the operations department. If I keep naming departments, I'm going to forget it and I'm going to hear about it. But everybody has really got us to where we are now, and we just want to pay it forward. And wait, I said, and yet there always continues to be one more thing with me. The platform, as it stands, the first week of April will be free. Yes, it
Wow.
will be free to view the content here on Ordinary People TV. Now, come back up to a close up on me if you all can. OPTV is just the platform and a mechanism for us to deliver these stories and things like this. But as I told you, OPTV is just a subsidiary of our parent company, Ordinary People Media. And with Ordinary People Media, we have a lot of different brands up under the umbrella, such as OPTV. And then we have Ordinary People University, where we teach you how to do this. And we work with you one on one and in a group setting that's really academic based, where we take you through those 100, 200, 300, 400 level classes. And we do it at ease. And not only is there Ordinary People University, but there's also going to be a conference component, a 3-day conference beginning next year, where in those 3 days we teach you in a wide variety of ways on day one how to what equipment do you need to tell your story depending on the level you're at, because really all you need is just your cell phone right here to begin telling your story. You don't need a fancy studio with lighting and people producing and all of that. No, we teach you how to tell your story because everybody has a story, but the problem is everybody's story isn't getting told because corporate media and mainstream media, they're broad. But hey, baby, as Shirley Chisholm used to say, we're we're unbrought and we are unpaid, and we're going to deliver it and keep it real. And that's
Did he just bring up Shirley? Really? That was nice, man. That was good.
yes,
You just
unbrought and unpaid.
you brought the mayonnaise right on the bread. Look, I'm
Yes.
gonna let you guys know real quick. You can reach me on a couple of platforms. My email, the Sports Minion Radio Show at sportsminionradioshow at yahoo.com. You can also reach me on YouTube, the Sports Minion Radio Show, and then on Facebook, www.facebook.com/the Sports Minion Radio Show. So looking forward to talking to you guys soon, and thanks so much for tuning in.
Back here next Monday. It looks like my producers are finally getting the best of me and kicking me out off the airways. I've been told that our night lineup has to line up. I'll be back later tonight. I will, because I want to talk to all the faith-based people out there, the churches, the pastors, the ministers out there, and tell you how you can be a part of this too, and how ordinary people can help you. But remember, as I always like to say, I can't leave you without something catchy. And so here's what the catchy is. And my co-host is supposed to be helping me with the catchy, but he's not helping me with the catchy. So what I want to say is thank you for watching Random Realness with the Double D's. We'll be back here every Monday to follow this at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 3 p.m. Central Time, and that's 1 p.m. Pacific. We really do appreciate you. Another way to show support is through going to our website and actually watching the shows, but not just going to our website because it does go up and down, but also by just sharing out our content. Just hit the share button. It's right there. And then also get the graphic queued up, everybody, because you know where I'm going with this team. Hit that like button. Hit the like button, because the more you like it, the more you pump those hearts, the more Facebook and Twitter and all those other social platforms, YouTube, they show us some love. They do. Cue the music back up. I know I was supposed to be done talking, and you guys just aren't liking that. All right, they aren't going to cue the music back up. So I guess I got to close the show. It's been a blast. I'll see you next week, man.
All right, take care. Looking forward to it.